Hi everybody and welcome to the Daily Scopes for the 17th of January. So today the moon enters void of course at 7:28 a.m. The moon enters Scorpio at 7:30 a.m. and Saturn enters Aquarius at 12:34 a.m. So I'm going to put all these audios at the end, so listen to the end if you want to know what happens during moon void of course, moon entering Scorpio and Saturn entering Aquarius. So yeah, the first aspect of today is Mercury Quincunx transit Mars. So this brings a unique opportunity to reflect on our communication and relationships, allowing us to make positive changes. This alignment encourages us to think before we speak and to be mindful of our words and actions. We can use this energy to be more conscious of our decisions, allowing us to make wise choices and avoid any potential problems. We can also use this energy to be more mindful of our thinking, promoting positive thinking and constructive criticism, avoid sarcasm and rush decision. This transit can help us be more aware of our surroundings and stay safe. Finally, this alignment encourages us to check in with ourselves, connecting to our inner wisdom and intuition to make better life choices and decisions. But just watch out, because minor arguments, as I said earlier, can cause big problems, especially in the workplace. Be careful who and what you give your attention to avoid loss of time, money and other resources right now. Stay alert when signing important documents and making decisions. Also do all you can to protect your physical and emotional health and take care to avoid mistakes and accidents, especially with dangerous objects. People may become easily frustrated or simply be looking for trouble, using criticism or sarcasm, which can cause hurt feelings and at worst violent outbursts. Everything may seem like a big issue right now, so it's best to avoid doing anything important, such as signing contracts or having important meetings if you feel you're affected by this energy. Local and global issues with climate change and collective resources can also impact your lifestyle right now. Also today, Venus makes a semi-square to transit Jupiter. So this energy allows us to free the mind from limitation and destructive thought patterns, reevaluating your relationships, especially toxic ones that hold you back or disturb your emotional, spiritual, psychological health, can help you feel like you want to socialize more, or doing things to access, taking things so far, like drug taking and stuff like that. Some of you can experience problems in your love life, laziness, too much of a good thing, and physical, emotional, or psychological pain from doing too much. So take some time out to relax and, don't take too much drugs and other stimulants. You may find yourself more concerned with the environment when this transit occurs. You and others will be more concerned with their inequalities in society. For some of you may start to look at ways you can contribute to reducing climate change. Others may decide to join a charity or social or political activist organisations. Concern about the planet and its natural resources could be at the forefront of your mind for some of you. This can play out as appreciating nature and natural beauty, that's the one, or physical appearances or life itself. You may implement resource saving ideas into your personal life. The negative side of this transit can make you repeat your concerns about environment and social injustice, just rambling on and on and on and on and on, sometimes like I do in these, daily scopes. And people may find you boring or pretentious during this time. You and others may over-exaggerate ambitions and achievements. This is ideal for content creators to produce content that talks about freedom and the obstacles to it and how to find it, whether that be personal, spiritual, financial, relationship, emotional or psychological, or any other freedom. Can also be good to talk about flamboyant and open-minded subjects. Can also do well right now. Content encouraging people to think about the things they believe in and the actions they take on a daily basis, giving suggestions on how they can change their thoughts and behaviours to improve their mindset and overall lifestyle, which also is going to play nicely into the Saturn in Aquarius transit. Transit aspect, same thing. So that I'm going to talk about. What is void of course? Void of course moon in astrology is when the moon journeys through its cycle and it makes one last main aspect, i.e. a trine, conjunction, square, sextile, opposition, with another planet before changing signs, yet it still makes minor aspects. I call them major, and I do include them in my weekly scopes and daily scopes. But anyway, so it will still make minor aspects such as SemiSquares, sextiles, quintiles and sextile conjunct, but it won't make any what's called, in inverted commas, main aspects. When the moon enters void, of course, it can be a time of uncertainty and confusion for many. Because of this, some astrologers suggest it may be best to delay things during the moon void of course period. To be on the safe side, it may be sensible to plan ahead, stay clear of major events or decisions during the time period when moon's void of course. Sometimes moon void of course can just last for an hour. Sometimes it can last for a day. If you can, it's a perfect time to take some time out to reflect and relax if you feel affected by the moon void of course period. In astrology, the moon represents our emotions and innermost feelings, so this is especially a vulnerable time for some people, especially for those with strong Cancer or water energy, Pisces and Scorpio in their chart. So water signs and those affected will especially benefit for taking time out to reflect and check in with themselves, especially on your belief patterns, maybe thinking of starting or continuing the work to let go of them. Excellent time to practice mindfulness and to be open to the universe lessons for you, giving gratitude. Even though it can be a challenging time, it can also be a powerful one. If we use moon void of course periods as a perfect opportunity to cultivate our inner strength and wisdom. The moon enters Scorpio. So esoterically, the best use of this energy is to look after your financial, sexual and emotional health, working to understand and let go of any anger, increase your self-discipline, take practical actions towards completing things, study scientific, technological or occult topics, and forgive those who feel you have wronged you. If you find it hard to express your emotions, writing them down may help. The moon in the constellation of Scorpio may also see people becoming more diligent and making practical effort to improve their home environment. This is incredible energy to ensure your life and other insurance policies are up to date. If you consciously use the Scorpio moon vibration, you can complete the things you put your willpower to. Doing the work to improve your physical or inner emotional, spiritual and psychological home, as well as taking care of your finances, can bring extra rewards in the long term. There can also be an increase in sexual and psychic energy. Negatively, past emotional resentments and conflicts involving money and other resources may cause problems in relationships. Although you may take action to avoid these types of confrontations, you may be forced to deal with them. It's best to admit any wrongdoing and try and forgive others and yourself. This may be hard to do, yet remember we can never change our past. We can relive it repeatedly in our minds, blocking the new directions we could be walking towards. There can also be an increase in jealous and or vengeful behaviour under the Scorpio moon. People can be intent on repaying what they see as past wrongs. People can become more secretive about behaviours, furthering the tension in relationships. Some of you may feel like your creative and vital energies are blocked. Getting as much rest as possible is essential to rejuvenating your life force. Screaming may be the best and only way to release your pent-up rage. Lack of money may also bring you added stress, but it's imperative to consider what you can do with what you have rather than focus on what you lack. It can take longer to reach your goals due to a lack of adequate resources, but if you keep on trying, you will eventually get there. Although you may be tempted to start new things, it's best to use this moon to finish up old business and projects and resolve old arguments. Study scientific, technological, occult or intellectual subjects and practice self-discipline and moon control. For gardeners out there, when the moon is in Scorpio, it's a decent time to plant hard crops and vines such as pole beans, corn, cucumbers, pumpkins, tomatoes, squashes, melons and courgettes. In one sentence, Saturn in Aquarius is about examining your life to identify potential areas for improvement. Aquarius energy is all about sharing knowledge in imaginative ways, being original and having strong opinions. The vibration is steadfast, intellectual, aloof, detached and impartial, seeing truth rather than conforming to personalities and society's rules. Saturn in Aquarius wants us to develop our nonconformist attitudes and challenge the status quo, not in sporadic ways, rebelling without a proper cause, but to go against the crowd and what others think in a practical, well thought out and researched way, because this transit can get some disgruntled, especially those with strong 1st, 5th, 8th, 9th, 11th and 12th house energies. Also those with strong Uranus, Aries, Leo, Sun or Scorpio energies in their natal chart as well as those with Mars, Neptune, Aquarian, Pisces, Jupiter and Sagittarius placements or aspects. It's important to remember that they are consequences for exhibiting hot-headed, impulsive behaviour and breaking laws, so just be careful. Try and be a rebel with a purpose rather than just being destructive with it, because being destructive with this energy will not get you anywhere. For example, if you're inflexible and unwilling to compromise, others may eventually rebel against you. You may also have to face severe consequences if you use bullying tactics or engage in other harmful behaviours. Instead of trying to stand out above the rest, which will likely backfire, try to understand and respect the rules that are already in place. This doesn't mean shying away from nonconformist attitudes or behaviours. It means being thoughtful, once again, very pressing, when taking action. Don't go too far or make drastic changes all at once without first considering the outcomes and the implications. Following these guidelines will minimise the chance of getting into trouble while still achieving your goals. Instead, find the balance between respecting the past and its traditions and blending it with new, futuristic ideas and actions. Saturn in Aquarius is teaching us that sometimes you must put rules and regulations in place to be free and liberated. Now's the time to make your mind up and call it a day and all the stuff that isn't bringing you joy. So go ahead and let go of all these lost causes that have been dragging you down, especially your own wayward expectations, behaviours. A sacrifice will have to be made to reach your goals. So Saturn is a real stickler for definitions, structures, order and commitments and discipline, like a strict parent who won't let you stay up past your bedtime. So when we are asked to follow the rules of Saturn, it can feel like our freedom is in jeopardy. Yet Saturn in Aquarius just wants us to follow the rules to have authentic freedom. As a consequence of people becoming more forward thinking and more socially aware about social injustices and things, because Aquarius is also the sign of social change, and this is why sometimes it brings sudden events. There's likely to be changes in friendships, science, technology. More people may use things like astrology, numerology, and other alternative healing methods to help change society at this time as well, and also give more human rights to individuals across nations. Right now in our world, a lot of people don't have the freedoms that they should have, so there may be either a big change in freedoms or more restriction. But because we're talking about Saturn in Aquarius, I think there will be a balance between bringing about more freedoms but also keeping the structures of order and traditions as well. When the majestic Saturn is in Aquarius, the optimistic energies of the Aquarian can be felt all round, with an abundance of innovative ideas for how to better the lives of others. Aquarius is a powerful sign of humanitarianism and collaboration. Saturn in Aquarius has an eye towards keeping together the collective. Sometimes it's simply a matter of taking care of yourself, and this helps improve the world. For some of you, it could be coming up with grand concepts or completing tasks and projects that will benefit all people. As Saturn shifts into Aquarius, it can become clear that taking personal responsibility for your own life can positively affect our collective environment. We have the opportunity to make a positive contribution to society if we are prepared to manage our physical, emotional, spiritual, psychological and financial health. When Saturn is in Aquarius, it is empowered and in its element. This is because in astrology Saturn is dignified in Aquarius, so this means it's the best place for Saturn to be. So now is the perfect opportunity to put your dreams, aspiration, efforts into action and do your best to improve your relationships, especially the relationship you have with yourself. Right now Saturn will also put all relationships to the test, and all that are not good will be removed from your life, or should be removed, because us humans can cling on to things we need to let go of, and this is why most of the dramas in the world happen. The transit of Saturn in Aquarius is an opportunity to start or deepen a relationship, a real intimate one, or friendship, something with like-minded people. This energy encourages people to come together and go beyond what they can do on their own, becoming more committed to relationships, projects, careers, and becoming more full of energy and being open to the potential to work for long periods of time and to make the changes that are necessary and that will bring you long-lasting rewards and experience. Saturn calls for a straightforward, clear-cut, realistic and authentic approach when influencing our charts. Saturn also tests us, a lot of tests, a lot of restrictions, but don't do this because Saturn gets fun and gets amusement out of seeing us all crash and burn, but rather to benefit us in the long run. Saturn will uncover areas of our lives that require attention and improvement. It's a perfect moment to cut ties when Saturn is in Aquarius with those who drain your energy and stop your growth. Embrace your authentic self, stay true to who you really are, be candid and frank, direct, just say it how it is, cut the bull crap, set your limits, be principled and accepting. When Saturn transits Aquarius, aim to establish sustainable relationships or alliances based on similar values and objectives rather than lusts or superficial connections. It would be best if you surround yourself with the people and activities that truly make you feel energized and enthusiastic and leave the rest behind, especially toxic thoughts or toxic energy drainer type people. Every breath you take when Saturn is in Aquarius is a reminder to cut the negativity and toxicity out of your life and focus on what brings you joy and helps you reach your full potential. Let go of whatever or whoever it is that has been holding you back and instead embrace the opportunities and people that can help you reach the next level of your journey. Although letting go is not easy, Saturn's desire to slow down and become more detached is a blessing. Still, taking our time to reach inner equilibrium is key when dealing with Saturn. It is natural for us to try and control or hold on to destructive relationships, but that can be an uphill battle with lots of disappointments. Rally around the people and things that make you feel alive and leave the rest in the dust. Now is the time to reclaim your energy and make your dreams a reality. Taking a hard look at your social life, ideals and principles, your beliefs, who you associate you with, the group activities you do, the contributions you make to yourself and others, and your involvement in the community. Do you need to slow down or do you need to put more effort in? It may be a time, if you do overwork yourself and overburn yourself, to slim down, streamline and simplify your commitments right now, rather than try and do too much or carry on doing too much and wear yourself thin. Focus your energy on a couple of meaningful activities. Do things that make you feel alive and empowered, and also take time to look after your overall well-being. I'll discuss that more in a bit. Because if you do this, the payoff will be infinitely more rewarding than attempting to tackle too many tasks at once. To gain the most from this time, we must be willing to let some opportunities go to live a more balanced and rewarding life. As ruler of the 11th house, which controls groups and visions, Aquarius brings a surge of hope and optimism that we can create a better world for all. The 11th house in astrology is the house of organisations, groups and social consciousness, as well as spirituality and futuristic ideas and ways of life. It's a place of deep insight into the collective and our connectedness to others and ourselves. We can trace our relationships to the collective through the love we receive, our goals, hopes and wishes, and not only the love we receive, but also the love we give. It can also be perfect energy to give us that sense of wanting to help others, that sense of charity and the desire to help those in need. Some of you may even foster a child or pet, in... Not to laugh, but you never know. I was going to say a plant, some people do that. So some of you be fostering, looking into taking in a child or children that are not your own, or a pet that's not your own, or pets or a plant or just something that's not your own, deciding to become the caretaker of these children or animals. Also, some of you may give more to those who live in poverty or are otherwise distressed and in need of support. Ultimately, when Saturn is in Aquarius, it's a reminder of our interconnectedness and how we can come together and share purpose. We can make a real difference in the world by doing so. Visionaries, inventors and creators can rejoice. This vibration is ideal for becoming detached and healthily working through psychological and emotional issues. Aquarian energy is often seen as being ethereal, otherworldly, but when Saturn is present, it provides the necessary grounded and practicality to make the most of it, bringing those ideas down to earth a little bit. All in all, when Saturn is transiting in Aquarius, it's essential to focus on constructing reliable and long-term relationships. Sometimes this requires cutting ties with associations that are not beneficial, whether they are romantic, platonic or professional. It is also a great time to get rid of unnecessary commitments and focus on what matters most. So you may prefer quality over quantity in all things. It's a time to leave wistful thinking behind and make something real. Our knowledge of the past and vision of the future can help make meaningful decisions and achieve great success. Let's leave our egos at the door and work with all the different dimensions of your personality and other people in healthy ways to bring positive change and balance not only into our own lives but also into the lives of the human collective. Because we're dealing with Uranus and Aquarius here, this is really a good time to think of new scientific, spiritual, technological inventions or ideas, projects, way of lives or relationships or communities that can provide more organisation and structure, and whose sole purpose is to make the world better for everyone. On the health level, when Saturn's in Aquarius, look after your circulatory system. So this includes your legs, your spine and your ankles. This should be a priority. Be sure to take special care of your body in general. Get enough sleep, exercise and chill out time for optimal health and well-being. If we want to ensure that our goals last, grow and become stronger, we need to put in the effort to make it happen. Saturn in Aquarius is here to remind us of that fact that, we can have these big ideas and stuff, but if we don't take practical action, then they just remain dreams. In this period of tremendous transition, you may find yourself making a host of questions like, have we become sufficiently accountable in our respective communities? Are existing legal, government and societal, educational, medical frameworks adequate to help all of those in the world? And as we know, they're not. Are global resources truly being shared equal? And they're not. So how can we make them be shared more equally? How can you do your part in that? Because the burden's not on one person, it's on all of us as a collective. On the individual level, you may want to focus on making a proper plan so that you can reach your goals and ensure your overall well-being over the next couple of years while Saturn is in Aquarius. So over the next couple of years, as we face a lot of changes as individuals and as a world, it's up to us to take a hard look at the current state of our own lives and the world and ask ourselves what kind of world we all want to live in. We have the power as individuals to create a world of peace, equality and justice, even if we just bring these into our own life. And we can create peace, justice and equality for all if we all fight for it. When Saturn is transiting in Aquarius, the possibilities are endless and we can achieve these things, although they may seem woo-woo and even more woo-woo in these current times and stuff, but some of us have to be optimistic, eh? So yeah, Saturn in Aquarius gives us a valuable lesson that freedom comes not from escaping or numbing ourselves and running away from our responsibilities or, breaking the rules for rules' sakes, but for accepting and learning from the consequences of our successes and failures. Now is a good moment to make a decisive choice and move on from activities that do not bring you contentment, that are toxic and unhealthy to your overall well-being, as I said earlier. So it's advisable to abandon any negative situations, goals or relationships that have proven to be a waste of time and energy. It's completely necessary for you to get rid of any unhelpful thoughts because these negative thoughts create destructive behaviours and these behaviours lead to destructive relationships. So, it all starts in the mind. So letting go of any toxic thought patterns that hold you back. Also looking into the ways that you've been expecting too much from other people, being too egotistical or demanding or controlling. Letting go of being cocky and boastful and prideful, careless or arrogant and seeking perfection. Because being egotistical, being like, everything's got to be perfect is just the same thing, and procrastinating as well. And now is the time to do all the things that you say that you've wanted to do, even if some of these things you've been saying year in and year out for the last 20 years and you think, I've got no more time to do these things. It's never too late to live the life that you really want to live. And although I said, this energy is about changing the world, know that each person can only do what they can do to make this happen. The focus must be on bringing health and enjoyment and peace into your own life first before you try to even bring these qualities out in others. Saturn in Aquarius wants us to take a more minimalistic approach to making our life a reality, reaching out to advisors, professionals and those with natural insight. If you feel stuck, and being more direct and genuine with yourself and others. Take advantage of this energy to focus on distinctive, meaningful, unique and profound ventures and relationships, aiming to improve the areas of your life that need it. Why not take the time to develop your innate gifts, learn new skills or refine your personality, and just open yourself up to deep, meaningful relationships. For some of you on the romantic front, Saturn in Aquarius is going to bring maybe a Saturn person, and you may be, they're too horrible, they're too strict. For some of you, you're going to get like a futuristic kind of out there, out of the box thinker as a lover or friend. And at first you may reject these connections because they may not be like the people you normally meet, but if you just stay open to the endless possibilities, some of you will just get these ideas and you'll be like, I could never make this dream a reality, this is crazy. Try and stick with it, research, look into it, find the right resources and tools to move forward with these crazy ideas. Don't ignore red flags because I'm big on red flags, but just open your heart to a better life for not only you, but for everyone in the world. So yeah, that's the daily scope for the 17th of January.